Hi, my name is Jay Massey, CEO and founder of CashflowDiary.com. At Cashflow Diary, we believe that there's been a barrier to entry when it comes to real estate investing. I know for myself, when I was first getting started in real estate, I started thinking about things like, hey, I don't have money, I don't have credit, I've never done this before. There is no way they are gonna let me in to their little circle of friends. Here's my point. I had to make a decision, probably a decision very similar to the one that you're about to make. I had to discount, not even think about what I didn't have and focus on what I do have to go out there to begin to create results. See, today we've developed this goal of being able to get to 1,000 units of real estate, 1 million square feet of commercial real estate, and finishing the resort that we're currently building with some friends. It's been an interesting journey to make it this far, but what's exciting is understanding that as we go through this process, as I've continued to make progress, we document what works. We tell you about what fails, but we also document what works so that you have inside access to understanding what you need to do today in your marketplace to go out there and make the results you're seeking happen. And those are the things that get me excited today, is knowing that by being here, you have a shot at creating jobs. You have a shot at providing clean, safe, affordable housing. You have a shot to go out there and make something happen that you haven't even begun to imagine. See, here's the thing. I don't care where you're starting from. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you've done, because we're going to start at the beginning and teach you all the techniques to power you through to the end so that you can see the success that you came here for. And because it's real estate investing, because we're documenting, because I'm still out there in the field mixing it up day in and day out, you get real-time accurate information that you can trust and know works. So with all of that being said, I want to take a moment and tell you about our newest educational system that is focused on providing you with every tool, every document, every resource, every connection, every possible thing you think you don't have to go out there and make it in the world of real estate investing. Our newest educational innovation is called the Cashflow Core Membership. With the Cashflow Core Membership, you'll get access to hundreds of hours of pre-recorded live lessons, regularly scheduled new live events, unlimited access to our core real estate investing training courses, and a measurable way to track your progress. Find out how to access other people's money as you follow our Cashflow Creators course, and learn how to use the #1 tool that will grant you access to other people's money and the 3 letters that are holding you back from raising all the capital you need for every deal you could possibly imagine. You will also learn what it means to be a wholesaler, or how to become a great negotiator so that you can do more deals faster, and much, much more. We're constantly adding to our courses, lesson library, and have weekly and monthly live events where you can get your questions answered. Sure, you could scour the internet, read hundreds of blogs, search forums, and wonder whose advice you should be listening to, or you can go to the source. Why not just join us today and get the keys to creating real estate investing success in your life now? Go as far as you can see, and when you get there, you'll see further. Move at the speed of instruction with the Cashflow Core Membership today. See you inside. Hi guys, gals, peoples of all ages. Welcome to another episode of Q&A with Jay. I am Jay, hopefully here to answer your questions. Speaking of questions, what I'm doing right now is pulling up all the questions that you guys sent in ahead of time so that I can make sure that I have them. And as you know, I don't look at the questions ahead of time. That's part of what makes it fun for me, is to not know what you guys want to know until I actually have to answer the question. So that's part of what we're doing at this exact moment. I'm glad that you're here. For those of you joining us for the first time, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. One of the things that I did want to make sure that everybody understood and knows is that you probably saw the information about the Cashflow Core membership. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that today, mostly because there's a number of you who have been sent special links, etc., for various different reasons. And the specials are ending there. And most importantly, this is the last quote unquote free or non-members only Q&A with Jay. So we've been doing Q&A with Jay a little over a year now. And we've got a ton of episodes, a ton of content. And what we're going to now do is we're going to focus just on our members and help them continue to make more progress faster. So I've been actually on the phone with actually many of you over this past 2 weeks anyway, and talking to you, trying to find out, hey, what you're dealing with and what's going on in the marketplace. How else might we be able to help you? And this is just a part of making sure that we can help you guys more deeply, more continuously, with more effort and more energy. And there are a number of members only benefits, one of which you're going to find out about today, so that you guys have an understanding of what we're going to do in the future. So at the end, let me see, making sure I've got all my screens set up here. So if you're watching live, feel free to that's funny. If you're watching live, make sure that you get your questions in the box, because we're probably going to have a ton of questions, or a ton of time for questions today, simply because like I said, we've stopped taking questions from a lot of the general public, and we're only taking the questions from our Facebook groups and our core members, the questions that you guys have, so that we have the ability to respond. I don't know how many places you get to go to where you can have the amount of feedback in the time frame that we're working to be able to provide. So we do our best to make all of that happen continuously. Hopefully you absolutely appreciate it, and will be willing to join us in the membership program to continually show your appreciation, etc. So with all that being said, let's get a few announcements out of the way, and we can get down to the stuff. I see a number of you logging on. Hey, Ray. Hey, Lori. Why does that name sound Lori? We've met. I feel like Lori. I feel like I know you, Lori, but I don't remember seeing your name here before. Welcome back, Beth and Sep, of course. Susan, Julio, you guys are awesome. Glad that you guys are here. And Fishy Mike, you're here too. What's up, Jeff? I can see you guys that are here and that are logged in. I appreciate you guys being here. We're going to, let me see what I'm going to do. I'm also, hey Drew, I'm going to put the chat room on this screen as well, so that way if you want to show it, you can. Okay. Hey Jill.
Full screen it.
Full screen? Like, oh, do this number?
You're right on the button before.
And this number. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Make it a little bigger for me. A little smaller. Excellent. Awesome, guys. As a quick announcement, many of you already know this, but in case you don't, we have a podcast in iTunes, Cashflow Diary podcast.com, Cashflow Diary podcast.com. 2 shows, Mondays and Thursdays at 8 a.m. So that you guys have, again, more content. We're almost at 140 shows. It's kind of crazy, right? Almost at 140 shows. Share it with friends. That would help us out a ton. And I know that that's something there. But here's something else I want to show you. So look at your screens for a second. Yeah, I've been excited about this. We have been working hard and diligently to simplify everything, to make it easier for you guys to understand exactly what's going on. And boom, now we have the site is about as close to ready as we've ever seen it, and we're excited about it. Whoops, I went the wrong way on that one. So you have the ability to see from the front end piece of what it's going to look like. You have the ability to see all of the things, from the courses to the library to the live lessons to the video diary, the community aspect. Hopefully a lot of you appreciate that, the tools and resources. We've got a number of faces you might recognize. Didn't realize they were all right there, so many of them. That was pretty interesting for me to see. And a number of you guys of what you've been able to accomplish with the information, etc. And I'm excited about this. Now, one of the things that I want to say really quickly, as I said before, many of you existing customers, you probably got 2 emails this morning or late last night. The first one, none of the links work. Sorry. That was all me. It's all Jay right there. The second one, all the links work so that you have the ability to do two things. You have the ability to actually, this is not good. I'm joking. Give me some water. Wow, just stay on 3. That'd be fine. He's going to go get me some water. Don't worry. Anyway, wow, that's not good at all. So we've got a special link for a number of you that were existing customers last year. And it's based upon how much you spent with us last year. You got a discount off the membership price. So that monthly membership includes a number of things, and I've got to clear some things up because we got a flood of emails about what's the difference between this and that, and I want to go through that really fast so that at least we have it documented, you guys know, and most importantly, we'll get to your questions as well. So we'll talk about that very briefly. And as you can see here, you still got, I'm just really excited about the team and what they've been able to accomplish in the short period of time that we gave them to get it done. So at the end of the day, it's pretty cool to me. Thank you. Don't choke while live. Lesson learned. I think that's the first episode where that's happened. We got to edit that out later. Anyway, all right. It says, let me see. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Let me show you guys right here. Let me go ahead and log in myself. Now, for those of you that are existing customers, you probably got the email anyway, even if you've already upgraded your account. If you haven't, though, it's clear. You probably have some stuff that's grayed out, okay? You shouldn't have that if you have upgraded your account. In fact, let me rephrase. There's only 3 things that should be grayed out at this moment. That is going to change because what the price you get is the price that stays that way. It never increases. It's always that way. It's guaranteed pricing in that sense. But all the stuff that we add to it is going to be add to the core membership is automatically included. So I want you to look really closely right here. You see this little blue thing? It's called the core, C-O-R-E. If you have a gray, if it's gray on any of those, you have not properly upgraded your account. That's what that link is for. Some of you, because of how dedicated you've been to your own education, it's a 100% free upgrade for life. And those of you, you know who you are. And you've got that already. Others of you, it's various levels. The point is, if you have any of these that are with the little blue badge that are gray, you have not properly upgraded your account. One of the things that's not here yet, because we're ending the multifamily class, if you want to learn about how to go out there and get multifamily deals and manage them, and in fact, this past week, the multifamily class asked me questions that nobody, that required me to give a resource that I have never given out, ever, not even once that I can remember. Oh, I gave it to one other investor one time. And I don't know what he did with it, if anything, but it's been a very closely guarded thing in terms of how to vet property managers. And we're currently, formatting it and all that other stuff. But those of you in the core membership, you're going to get that. As I do new things, you're going to get that. Those of you who have upgraded, especially if you want the multifamily stuff, another resource that we just are now creating is many people have asked me about the profit analysis quadrant and most importantly, how to structure your deals and what does that paperwork look like. So what we're doing is that I'm taking, I think it was 3 different companies of mine, sanitizing those documents, meaning I'm getting rid, you don't need to know my investors' names and the names of my companies and the names of the locations of the properties. We'll leave the dollar amounts and all that funny stuff in there, that's fine. But we're taking all of the sensitive information out, and we're going to also make that available as a resource so that you have the, again, further, deeper education. I want this community to be the ones that are out there strong enough, able to walk the walk, talk the talk, and do the deals. So I figure what better way than to give you copies of the stuff that I have done and with various different structures using the profit analysis quadrant. And you can, again, if you want to have access to those things, what you don't see here is the multifamily class because it's still being processed in the video and all that other stuff. But it's going to be a part of the core membership. So you're going to have 3 basic courses: the deals at discounts, capital creators, raising private capital, and the multifamily classes are all going to be there. All right. So I need you to understand that very, very clearly. So if you're missing any of those blue core logos on anything, it means you have not properly upgraded. Okay. And then for everybody, Income Infusion, Lead Machine, and Ninja Negotiations, those 3 are not included in the core. That's why they don't have. So for some of you, you already have access to it. Others of you, you don't at the end of the day. So we've gotten that email a lot too. So these 3 are additional over and above everything else that we're talking about. But the core, this page right here, is a lot of the courses for the core membership. Additionally, you need to understand, if you do not upgrade, because I'm trying to just delineate the differences, the next couple of pages you don't have access to at all. So the library, this is what happened, is that Jacob came to me and said, hey Jay, we got literally hundreds of hours of additional content in various little vertical niche markets and things of that nature. What do you want to do with it? And I'm like, we can't really create 30 more products. It's going to drive people nuts. So what we've done is we put it here in the lesson library, where now you've got live workshops that have been recorded, where now you have access to these things that we previously didn't have a way to get to you in some way, shape, or form. The monthly coaching calls. So all of the so for the core members, you're going to be invited to monthly coaching calls where we're going to sit down for an hour, pummel me with questions across any, in addition to what we're doing right here. All right. What I'm trying to say is I'm doing my best. Actually, that doesn't make much sense. We're already doing it every week. We don't need an additional one every month. Anyway, the point is, I want to make sure that you have access to, like, this tax lien. It's only 17 minutes, but that 17 minutes, or I'm telling you, it'll unlock your mind in ways that you haven't even begun to understand. But all of these recorded workshops and wholesaling, all of this stuff, if you haven't upgraded, will be the content that you will, if you have access to it now because you're on a trial, that's wonderful. If you don't, if you're not a full member, you won't have access to it later. Same thing here. When I hit live, it's actually going to show this right here, live section. So where we are right now, so I'm going to hit pause so that we don't have, to me speaking to you as well. But the live section is going to go away for you as well. And then the diary section. The diary section, this is currently there, and I'm gonna get back to updating more entries so that you guys can continually follow me along. We're also adding written entries as well to this because there are times where I'm just up late and I start thinking and I want to start writing, etc. And you'll have access to what I'm doing. This is all what's part of the core membership, but if you don't upgrade, and if all you have is like one of our crash courses or just one of our complete courses, but you don't have the rest, these are the other pieces that are included. The live tab, the library tab, the diary tab. Then community, you'll still have access to the Facebook group. That's wonderful. I'm sure that you love that. You'll still have access to that, but there are a number of these tools. For example, many of you, if you haven't noticed, we have some here now. There's more already being created, and there are more that will be created. As you can already see, Cashflow Foundations has already received an update, simply because there's so much stuff that I'm trying to document into our diary to be able to help everybody know exactly what they need to do, how to transfer themselves, their skill sets from the E, the S, over to the B and the I, and to build your business however you want to do that. These are the beginnings of the things that I'm referring to that are, if you're on a trial or if you haven't upgraded as an existing customer, that are going to go away. I'm strongly trying to encourage you to click the link, upgrade, and make sure that you do all of those things, because this is going to be the last free time. This is like my last chance to do it with those of you who are watching. Was there a question? Noreen, after watching the tax link 17-minute video, is that enough to proceed and do it, or is there more info needed? Okay, so Noreen, with the tax lien video, that's right, she just did her account the other day. With the tax lien video, you're going to do two things. You're going to take this information on the tax liens, and you're going to take the due diligence checklist. So you take those two things together and for all intents and purposes, have at it. The hardest thing about tax liens for me is waiting until the tax sale happens. And that's in a completely different way. So that's one of the most difficult things, is just waiting for that. Now there is an over-the-counter method that we talked about in the video that you could use now as well, but you have enough information, yes, to get started and to begin to get a property under contract. So yes, what you've got should be more than enough. Hopefully that makes sense, but you're going to then come over here to the due diligence checklist because you're going to need to do that. So I guess if you read in between the lines, we're going to end up with a property management checklist. We're going to end up with your syndication checklist, for lack of a better way of putting it. All of these things, I don't know if syndication checklist is the best word for it, but you get what I'm saying. All of these additional resources and again, you guys have also asked for a lot of information on buying and holding, which we've not been able to produce yet, but they're going to be produced again for our members. You can begin to see why I can't educate all of YouTube, but I can educate a small 1,500, 2,000 of us, right? That's a lot smaller than millions of people. So that's the goal. And now you've also just heard that the goal is to get to 2,000 of us. I think that's pretty cool too. So at the end of the day, I'm just trying to be as clear as possible. If you've got more questions about that, please make sure you type them in there. I don't think so. What is that, Jay? Susan is asking, have you ever purchased or dealt with a property that is a life estate? I found one that the remainder man is trying to sell, with the caveat that I don't take full title until the owner dies. The answer, Susan, is no. I've not done that, but it just sounds like a more complicated negotiations. I'm sure I could figure it out, but I've not dealt with a life estate or a remainder man. I've never heard of actually either of those, to be specific. So it's, yeah, I think, Susan, sometimes I think you make stuff up for fun. You're just like trying to test me, aren't you? At the end of the day, it's fine. It's fine. But I like getting to know you guys this way. Anyway, here's one of the things that I am going to say and do for everyone right now. Many of you, if you see a link that's just below here, it's to start your trial. If you haven't, if you are brand new, this first time seeing here, you can still start your trial. You're going to get the audiobook. Yay. You'll have that. However, what I'm also going to do is for everyone who is a customer as of right now, or in the membership as of right now, I'm looking at, you're going to get this class right here, Ninja Negotiation, because a lot of the questions you guys keep asking me is all about Ninja Negotiating. It's all about negotiating, sorry, Ninja Negotiating, that sounded weird. But here's what I'm also going to do for those who get in the membership. So even if you're brand new and you start the membership, I'm also going to teach you all of the things that I know from the negotiation standpoint at absolutely no additional cost. So you're not going to have to pay the normal, I think this one is $497. You're not going to have to pay that. So all of our existing members are going to have it. And so that takes care of you guys. And for those of you who join before the end of the month, you're also going to have it. And you're going to all be invited to our first members only webinar. It's 100% content on one subject. Because here's the other question I got a lot when talking to you guys this time. Many of you love the profit analysis quadrant, and I appreciate you for that. I thank you for that. However, I keep getting, Jay, can you show me how to use it? Can you show me how to master it for my deal, right? And I'm sure some of you are silently rejoicing in your chair right now when I say that. So what we're going to do is we're going to invest 4 hours, and we're going to call it Mastering the Profit Analysis Quadrant. How to raise private capital using a whole lot less of your time and doing the deal on a napkin, all right? And that's what we're going to do. We're going members only webinar. So if it's just 2 of us, it'll be just 2 of us, and that's fine by me. We'll do a members only webinar in February or early March, okay? As just letting you know, because we've got so much more work to do. You have no idea. But in late February, early March, members only. And what we're going to do is you guys, members only, are going to be able to get in for absolutely no additional cost. Again, provided that you have completed your upgrade and or started your trials before the end of the month. Because I'm serious about helping people move forward. So we keep coming up with new ways to incentivize you, to make you do these things over and over and over again. And that's what we've come up with for the moment. So hopefully that makes sense. You you can't look in your account right now because it's not there yet, but it will be. I'm just making sure I covered all of my notes from there. All right. Whoo! Ninja, if they never saw it coming. Exactly. So, yes, I see the responses. I guess you guys kind of like the mastering the profit analysis quadrant idea. This is good. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to talk about, because I've gotten the question. It's one of the reasons I like talking to you guys, is because you guys teach me, what did I say? What did you still need help with? How can I accelerate your learning and your growth? Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so you're going to have that here shortly. Again, as I said before, make sure, if you haven't already, click that link. We sent it to you again so that you have it. But as of I guess Super Bowl Sunday morning, 12:01 a.m., it's going to go away. So a lot of you, if you were a previous customer last year, you have a discounted price, or you can just go over to Cash. You should have a link just below the video, and you'll also get the audiobook as well. But I'm really, really excited about growing the membership. And this is the last thing I will say on this. I just went to the wrong page. That's for sure. All right, so because many of you have also asked about the affiliate program. All right, so now that we've got these assets in place, that's actually coming. So for those of you who want to help us grow, where did did he move the affiliate link? Oh, there it is. See, it's so invisible, I missed it. So when you go to cashflowdiary.com, go scroll all the way to the bottom, click the affiliate program. Now, it doesn't, you're not going to get your links and all of that yet. We have to do an affiliate training, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to help you guys understand how the affiliate program is all going to work 100%. And you can go ahead and click here to sign up to become that affiliate and help us continue to grow the membership. And pretty much what ends up happening is we're just going to have a really huge investor database that we can all do deals with and make things happen. So hopefully you appreciate that as well. All right. I see two questions, one from Michelle and then one from Anthony were sent in. And somebody's got a question in the chat room. Is that Denise? Denise, to clarify, if we previously upgraded to Core, yes, that is correct. If you don't need to click the link in the email I sent today, if, where'd it go? So long as when you log in and you go under the Core, you should see all of these with the blue banner on it. Let me enlarge it to make it easier. If you see these blue banners, if you have any of those blue banners, like specifically, it's usually going to be basic business disciplines. If that's in gray, then you haven't done it right. You haven't upgraded if that's in gray, because that's usually the one that because you can't get it any other way. You gotta be there in order to get it. So that's in gray. So if that has been done and is not in gray, if that's in color, then you're fine. Okay, you're 100% fine, and you'll still have access to. So you're still going to have access to the library. You'll still have access to the live. You'll still have access to the diary. Everyone's still going to have access to the Facebook group, and you'll have access to the tools as we continue to create them, because we're creating more. Because I'm still out there doing deals. I am in the process of doing. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. I'm just not going to tell you yet. So you'll see, because you'll be a part of the diary and you'll know. That's what I'm going to do there. Anyway, and for those of you, if you haven't already started your trial, or if you are currently a member, you're going to get the Ninja Negotiating bonus to you for doing so, for upgrading and or doing so starting before the end of the month. And just so that you know, we're not going to be, but you're probably I'm just going to wait until he bonuses the other ones. No, that's not going to happen. Sorry, because the leads and sales there's just so much in them, it's ridiculous. Anyway, and I'm just doing my best to make sure that you guys have everything that you need. All right, the members only webinar as well. Don't forget about that. Are you going to have a schedule that you can update for the events? Yes. The short answer, Jeffrey, is yes. You get where we're going. Sandy has been doing lots of our media and media relations. In fact, we just got a request to start writing for a magazine, so I'm pretty excited about that one too. It's like, wow, I've never had that happen. Someone wants us to write for their magazine. I'm like, all right, cool. And so that's going to be interesting. So now we're writing for one website, now one magazine, and stuff is starting to happen. It's pretty cool. But yes, we're going to have the update for the events. So when you go under live, hold on, I got to hit the pause again. All right, so when you go under live, right here where it says view lesson schedule, right now it says lesson schedule coming soon. This is where it's going to be for a lot of those events, especially those member only ones. For the ones that are not members only, you will always still be able to go to cashflowdiary.com, and there's an events tab over here. So they will be in both places. So the members only events will be here. It's just that when you click it and you're not a member, it's going to force you to become a member by taking you to this page, which is what you guys saw. Oh, I got to log out. That's what I got to do. So I got to log out, and boom. So you're going to end up here, inviting you to become a member. And again, as we said before, the normal pricing is $97 per month or $970 a year. Your choice, doesn't really matter. Either way, and whatever price you have, if you've got one of those special links because you were a customer last year, your price is your price. As you've heard me already say, we're adding more hours, we're adding more content. That doesn't change your price. That is your price. Some of you are in our charter membership, so it doesn't really matter at all in any way, shape, or form. You're just getting everything anyway. You just get to choose to participate. So hopefully that makes sense. There's more stuff coming. I'm telling you, we're going to do our best to make, well, if the 97 doesn't seem like pennies already, it will. It will. I promise on that one. There's another question? I am in the wholesale group. How long do I get access to Corey? Noreen, you're in the wholesale mastermind group. So when you join one of our live masterminds, you get access to the core for 1 year at no cost. So that is already, I think your account has already been upgraded that way, so you're fine. So for those of you, if you've ever been part of our live mastermind groups, that's part of the extra bonus that's included in there. So you've already gotten that, Noreen. So yes, anyway, let me see. Where did the questions go? I can't find the screen, Drew. There it is. Never mind, I found it. So it looks like Michelle and Anthony have sent in a question, and we're going to invest the time that we have left to make sure that happens. What is 32? Oh, okay, got it. Thank you. What is that, Kyle? Kyle said, I was trying to read what Kyle said. Hold on. Jay, it's awesome how much Cashflow Diary has grown, and it's cool to see all the members starting to do bigger deals. Thanks so much for this membership, and I recommend joining the network to anyone who is new here. Thank you, Kyle. I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. That's the goal, is to help you guys make this thing happen, right? So therefore I'm asking you guys to help make it, because you probably figured out that it's not free to do all these things. So you guys can do your part by making sure that more people know. That's why we're starting this affiliate program and whatnot as well. Plus, you guys consume a lot of data. You know how much stuff you guys download? It's ridiculous. I had no idea. I'm like, wow, they're actually watching this stuff. So this is kind of cool. I'm actually encouraged. Anyway, all right, so let's see. Michelle is ready for a 6 flat. All right. She's similar to Mike's. I don't remember Mike's deal, Michelle, right now. So here are my questions that I believe would help me as well. All right. What is the value of the property? What interest rate is the bank going to charge? Would there be enough money in the deal to provide the investor what she is looking for? How much skin in the game is the bank asking for, and where does that money come from? Are there any improvements needed that can be used to offset quadrant 2 income? I think Mike mine and Mike's deal are quadrant 4 deals, especially if we can get around having to use bank financing. Our deals might be more attractive and fit all 4 quadrants. Okay, got it. And here's another reason why I'm excited, in a sense, that Q&A with Jay, this is going to be for us, is because if you're watching for the first time, there's so much language in what she just said that you're like, I don't even, what is she talking about? And once we all get on the same page, we're just only going to continue to march forward together. So, at the end of the day, hold on. Kevin, if we are grandfathered into the core for 1 year, how do we get the good rate going forward? And I'm not trying to be cheap. I get the value, just being smart with my cash flow. That's funny, Kevin. I love Kevin. He's such a negotiator. Those East Coast people. Anyway, that's you're the first one to ask that, Kevin. I mean, we haven't even thought that through. I'll play East Coast with you. Make me an offer I can't refuse. How about that? Okay, let's start with that and we'll go from there. All right, back to Michelle. What is the value of the property? Michelle, I'm guessing that this question is in the Facebook group because I need some more history to even remember what we're talking about. So I'm going to log back in because I need some more history. And if you're online right now, make sure you type some questions so that I can understand more about what you're asking me. Let's see. Okay, I'm looking for your question, Michelle. I see Jill, Sep, Mike. No, that's not it. So, okay. No, that's not it. Or is this it? No, that's not it. I'm looking for Michelle. I hope you're here. I really do. Oh, maybe you're here. There it is. There it is. All right, so you're working on a 6 flat. Similar to Mike's, that's what you just said. And I'm trying to understand what your question, what's the value of the property? Okay, I don't, all right, so here's the first thing, Michelle. Remember, every property has at minimum, every asset has at minimum 3 different prices. And it's always going to depend on who's looking at it. So value is in the eye of the beholder, right? The value is in the eye of the beholder. So value is in the eye of the beholder in the sense that you've got your use value, you've got speculative value, and then you've got investment value. Can you see all of them on the screen? Perfect. So you got speculative use and investment value. So it depends on how you're measuring this. Are what the price of the property is? I don't know, but it's an okay question, but it's not the pertinent question. The more important thing is to understand that each of these have a limiting factor into determining how much it's worth as use. So the limiting factor under use is typically income because the person and credit because they're trying to borrow their money to live there, right? Speculative value is usually going to be comps in a single family situation. And investment value is definitely going to be rent or scheduled income. Scheduled income, right? So that's the best I can answer that first question right there. So I think I understand a little bit better now. Now, what interest rate is the bank going to charge? I don't know. Now, understand this. If you follow the information that I've given you, you shouldn't need to use a bank until you are so big your network isn't large enough to actually attract enough capital. So and it's interesting to me, today was the first day in 5.5, 6 years where I was actually on the phone talking to a non-traditional lender, and I felt a little out of place because I'm like, I need, it's many millions of dollars, guys. So in this particular case, and I'm just like, all right. And they're asking me, so what kind of rates are you seeing? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't do rates with other people. I normally do all of this work myself. So Until you start to need $5 and $10 million at a time, you can get most of this done without a bank. So what is the interest rate the bank going to charge? It doesn't really, interest rate is not that important in my opinion, because the more important question is what are you going to do and how much value you're going to create, right? If the bank wants to charge 10, but you can find a way to have a cap rate of 20, then great. So keep that in mind. She wins 1, 2, 4. There is no question 3. I find that interesting. Would there be enough money in the deal to provide the investor what they, he, she is looking for? I don't know. That's why we've got to use the profit analysis quadrant. So when we're talking about the PAQ, we've got, actually, you know what? I'm going to do this over here, Drew. Sorry. So when we're talking about the PAQ, specifically the answer to your question is under quadrant 1. So when it comes to quadrant 1, we've got to organize ourselves in our business such that we understand the play. Like when you were doing your foundational business understanding, like, man, there's just, all right. So as you're going through the process of figuring out what your real estate investing company does, you've got to learn how to develop your plays so that that's why when you go to the marketplace, you're always doing the same thing so that you can figure out what part of Q1 the appreciation are we doing found, forced, phased, and how you're not using the inflated or passive. Got it. Okay. So you're not using inflated or passive, you're doing found, forced, and phased, and you got to understand how you're doing that, because that's where you're going to find out if there's enough money in the deal. The answer is it depends on what your play looks like. And if you don't know how to sit down and come up with the play, that's what's more important on question number 4. So hopefully that makes sense. Part 4. Number 5, how much skin in the game is the bank asking for? Varies per lender. Where does that money come from? Where would you like it to come from is the better question. If you want it to come from you, then it comes from you. If it comes from investors, it comes from investors. Are there any improvements needed that can be used to offset quadrant 2 income? Okay, so you don't have to do improvements to get depreciation, all right? You can use various different forms. So I'm gonna go back over here. Because I think we talked about this in the multifamily class about 2-3 weeks ago. You can use what they call, you've got many different forms, but let's just keep it simple, because this one quadrant could be, this one quadrant is what the entire CPA thing is about. And so I'm not a CPA, but you get where I'm going. There's a lot more information than what we have time for today. So you can just start with straight line depreciation. Then we have various forms of accelerated depreciation. And then we even can go down to cost segregation to be able to, and you don't have to do anything in quadrant 1 to be eligible for things over here in quadrant 2. You just have to know how to separate these numbers in order to gain the benefit and report them properly. Okay, and then let me see. I think mine and Mike's deals are quadrant 4 deals, especially if we can get around the bank having to use bank financing. Our deals might be 4 attractives and fit all 4 quadrants. Yeah, so typically, as a general rule of thumb, I want all of you thinking, if you have a mediocre play here in quadrant 1, it's probably a quadrant 4 deal. If it's a mediocre play here, it's probably over here. And here's another thought process that I want you guys to always be thinking about. When you have the fledgling business, now, I just was inspired by something. I think it would be neat if we as a community start doing like Shark Tank reviews or something, like just us, like the last episode, and we review how, because the profit analysis quadrant is all on Shark Tank. The show is investor identity, and I can prove it to you. That would be fun. We should, maybe not every week, but we should do that from time to time. That would be cool. See, these ideas start hitting me when I start thinking about the fact that it's a smaller group and we can do this type of stuff. Anyway, sorry, I'm back. When you have a whole, because here's what triggered that thought. because every time you go on Shark Tank, they're always talking about giving up equity in exchange for XYZ. Equity is expensive when your deal is broken. It's cheap when it's all working, right? So you probably want to slant towards, in both of your cases, something in quadrant 3. Otherwise, it's going to be a quadrant 4 deal in this particular case. So hopefully that makes sense to you as the way I just said it. That would be fun. Sorry, I'm back. All right, let's see. So hopefully, Michelle, that helps. Anthony, it's 152 units. Whoop, whoop. All right, we are in contract. Congratulations for a 152 unit deal. That's 4.2 million. All right, so the first thing, before I even read any further, guys, the first thing you always want to get in the habit of doing is taking that number, the 4.2 million, divide that by the number of units so that you can get a price per unit. So we're at 27,000. That tells me, that's one of the indications that I can use to go, is this Walmart, Target, or Nordstrom? This looks like Target minus at that price point. But I don't know, but because I don't even know, he doesn't even tell me where it is. In speaking to several mortgage brokers, they tell me that lenders are looking for sponsors' financials, net worth, and SERO, schedule of real estate owned, and some money in the deal, in addition to raising equity. Anyone have any insight on this? Seems like it's the opposite of what I thought it would be. Loan size is around 3.5 million. Thank you. Okay, there's a lot here, Anthony, a ton. But the question is who's underwriting that loan? Is this, God, there's so many. Okay, they're trying to assess the risk, right, at the end of the day, and they're trying to get a handle on it. And one of the things that I do to eliminate most of what you're talking about here is that I immediately qualify mortgage brokers. So this one phrase will help you eliminate a lot of what you're having to do right here, or hopefully you're ready for it. I meet them and I specifically ask for non-recourse financing. It's the first question. It's my instant disqualifier. I'm looking for non-recourse financing. That's the first thing. And that may knock them out of the table at the end of the day, and that's fine. That's kind of my goal. Because I don't want to have to do all of this other stuff, because they're looking for that. Now, sometimes you can offset that with your experience history if you're the stronger one, but if you're not, then yeah, you may have to go through this, especially if we're talking recourse financing at those levels. Hopefully you're looking for non-recourse and specifically asking them for non-recourse. That doesn't mean that's going to eliminate all of that. It does mean you can get around some of it. All right, so I'm not sure how much more, that I can't go into too much more detail without understanding where the money's really coming from. Like, are you actually talking to banks or mortgage brokers who are working with banks? Or are you talking to the non-traditional lenders in some way, shape, or form? Where is there, is this super high-end private equity? Is this a hedge fund? Like, how they're funded has a lot to do with what they're asking for. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense than normal. But hey, between you and Sep, I'm wondering who's going to be doing larger deals, because you two, that's what you like, and that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Let me see, where's the chat room? I haven't looked at it in a while. Jill is asking for a 10% discount. On what? I see. She wants a 10% discount. You know what, Jill? You sure can. You can have a 10% discount. And in fact, let me show you how you can get it. You can get, in fact, I'm going to do you one better, Jill. I'm not going to give you 10%. I'm going to give you 18%. Here's how you get it. You go right over here. You click this join button. And that's $970 per year up front. There you go. See? 18% off. There you go. That's what I just did for you. So I got that answered. Let's see, what else was that? Kevin is putting the Starbucks discount to use. I know, right? See, you always got to ask, guys. I love being a member of the Facebook group. I get answers. I get to announce things I'm working on, and I'm held accountable. Plus, the other members are really cool. Yes, you will be held accountable. Shark Tank, deal or no deal? So I see. Is that a vote, Noreen? I love the shark. I love that. I love the show, I think, idea. Yeah? Okay. We would also consider crowdfunding. Yes, and that's another reason why you probably want to help us grow the community. See, I just let a really big cat out of the bag. One of the ways that you can get your deals funded is by networking with people who are looking to do that. And if you already know them, that's going to help you. And you also, guys, also understand that we have people here from many different countries, and other countries want what we have here in the U.S. at the moment, which is cheap real estate. Well, what happens when that changes and the cheap real estate is somewhere else? You may be in a position to already have relationships in those countries to make those things work. So anyway, hopefully that helps. All right, I love the math I learned here. Yeah, no doubt. That's so cool watching Jay get all inspired and excited. Yeah, no doubt. I do try to keep that to a minimum, the excited, but that one hit me like a bolt of lightning. It's like, ooh, I think that would be fun. So hopefully that helps both of you guys. Any more questions, now would be the time to type them in the side, Michelle and Anthony, if you've got any additional information you want me to answer about that. If you haven't already, make sure you start your trial, because that way you can take advantage of everything that we were talking about today. You just click the banner or the link before, and if you are an existing customer, get that email link and click it so that you can get what's coming to you. And I'm excited because a number of you, I hope will, and I've already talked to a number of you about it, where we're going to be launching these 1 and 2 and 3 day intensive trainings in addition to our 12-month program, to where I work with you one-on-one, and I'm looking for huge results because we've been able to drive some great results for a number of people, and I'm looking forward to finding out those of you who are going to step up to that plate, and most importantly, the results you're going to achieve, because you guys know what happened with SEP, and you know what's happening, but the thing I get excited about is the fact that we had a direct influence on shifting his mindset at the end of the day. Now, I have, there's a question. Hold on, I got very good, but I'm asking for next year since I already have the, wow. Okay, Jill, there you go. She's like, hey, next year. Wow. All right, so let me see. You want 10% off the next year, 2016. Okay, Jill, but you would have to pay today, and I'll do that. Sure, why not? We'll do, what is that, 10% off $970? That's $97. Excellent. No problem, but you've got to pay today. So you can type in the box and say yes or no. I don't care either way, and I'll call you later. You guys I love it. See, you gotta ask. You never know. Jeffrey, regarding quadrant 1 and 2, to offer this deal, the note investor would have to include owner, what? Okay, no, Jeffrey. Okay, you don't ever want to mix quadrant 3 with quadrant 1. You just don't want to. That doesn't mean you can't. You just don't want to. My absolute worst structure I ever did was when I mixed quadrant 3 with quadrant 1. My attorney said, you don't want to do that. I said, but I can, right? He's like, yeah, you can, but you don't want to do that. But I'm like, but it's possible, because I'm always pushing. And I found out all the reasons why you don't want to do that. Now, typically, if the person is looking for some sort of a security for their money, that's fine. Secure their money on the building, but put them in quadrant 1, 2, or 4, make them part owner. Also understand this small but important nuance, and we'll get to this in the Mastering Profit Analysis Quadrant. So for those of you with the members, on the members only webinar, we're going to be mastering the Profit Analysis Quadrant, and there's a difference between equity and ownership, and there's a difference between that and control. And you've got to understand those small little nuances so that you can still do the things that you need to do to make that work. So, that you can still do the things to make that work. So you don't want to do that. Don't do it that way. But, and yes, quadrant 3 typically doesn't include ownership, although quadrant 4 could. So quadrants 1, 2, and 4 typically
typically include some sort of equity or ownership, but maybe not necessarily control. And quadrants 3, you don't want to include equity or ownership, but it doesn't mean you can't. It just means you probably don't want to. Okay, it's just not good. Just don't do it. Just please, for your accountant's sake, for your peace of mind's sake, for your communication's sake, don't do it. Bad idea. So, Jill, you said laugh out loud. So is that a yes or is that a no? I don't know which that is. You tell me. Awesome. All right. So, I forgot. I can't believe I forgot. There's one more thing that not even my team knows about, because I've been working on this, and they're finding out right now the same time you guys are. Okay. And one of the things that only our members, see, and I saved it for the end, because if you dropped off by now, then awesome. Anyway, one of the things is our members are going to get is first crack, for lack of a better way of putting it, at turnkey properties. So I know some of you, you're like, I'm tired of learning. I just want to go buy a property. Great. We're going to, we've already started the process. We're going to continue the process, and those properties will only be available in that sense, or I should say, they'll be available first only to those who are members of the Cashflow Core membership. So it's going to be a completely separate section inside the membership that you'll have access to, and they'll be located in the marketplaces we know to be best. We're going to start with where we are, expand from there. Okay, we're going to start with where we are and expand from there. Primarily single family houses to begin with, and read in between the lines. We got to see we got to test the program, make sure everything works. Primarily single family houses to begin with, and only members are going to have access to them first. Now that's going to be a number of things. Some of you who are into wholesaling, what does that mean? That means you may have an opportunity to wholesale some of those properties. Some of you who are out there raising capital, you may be able to raise the capital to buy those properties. Some of you just want to be able to do the deal yourself. Great, you'll have access to that as well. So these are all things that are coming. They're not here yet, but just know that there isn't a Cashflow Diary person who isn't working every day to make this a better experience for you. So hopefully you like that additional little tidbit of information. I'm sure Jacob, Sandy, Drew, Chad, somebody just freaked out somewhere. They're like, oh boy. But it is what it is. So just know I'm leveraging all the relationships that I've already built to be able to bring this to the table. Which is also code for don't make me look bad. Okay, when you start saying, yeah, Jay, bad, oh God, no, don't even go there. But the point is we'll be able to have it, so you can also begin to have even more tangible access. Maybe you want to have the ability to do the properties in that particular sense. But again, it's only going to be for those of you that are members. So hopefully that makes sense. There's another question. When am I coming back to Sacramento? I don't have anything on the calendar in Sacramento. I'll come when they ask me to come. If you've got somebody up there who's looking for a speaker, have them contact Sandy. Send in an email to info@cashflowdiary.com. Sandy will do the negotiating of what that looks like and entails, and we'll be there. So I don't have a problem going to Sacramento. I do have a problem going anywhere it snows. So you East Coast people, if you're under a blizzard right now, I'm sorry. I ain't coming there. I'm staying here until your weather clears up. So hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, Julio, what is this? Okay, whoa. Can we mix quadrant 1 and quadrant 3 if there is only one Okay, see, Sep, you're already doing it. You're like, well, can't we do it this way? Can't we? Sep, you can do it. You can do it if there's 15 or 20. You can do it. I'm telling you not to. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't mix those two. There are better ways to do it, Sep. And in fact, Sep, I know we're supposed to be talking later this week about you and I working more closely together, which I hope you give me the opportunity to do, so that we can talk about these very unique and higher level structures and how to execute them to get yourself into the correct position. But you can do it. I'm telling you not to, though. Julio, it says, hi Jay, do you have a course on learning to use the HP calculator for equations in the quadrants? Julio, I have been dying to do a calculator class, but you know what you can never sell to people? Hey, come do a calculator class. Who's ever going to sign up for that from Facebook or somewhere else? Nobody wants to do, why do I need to do a calculator class? You don't care about a calculator class until after you learn the profit analysis quadrant, you see the raising private capital and all the deal structuring, all that, then you care. So I've been wanting to do this for so long, it's ridiculous. But the answer is yes. I don't yet have a course, but it is going to be another members only event where we're going to be talking about the calculator and how to use it for things like net present value and understanding how to calculate your depreciation and the returns and all this other stuff, so that you have the ability to use that calculator as the weapon it actually is. All right. So yes, I'm with you. I'm with you 100% on that one. This Sandy person sounds fabulous. That's pretty funny. Boo. Oh, Kevin Day. Don't get mad at me, Kevin. You're the one who lives over there. Let's see. And Julio, I get the fact that you would buy a calculator class. You and I would be the only two there. But if it's a free members benefit, we'll have more people there who need to actually be there so that they can use it and learn it. I'm with you 100%. Add it to your pack class, and that is going to be 4 hours long. You're right. It could be something that's added later, but it's going to take us at least 4 hours to get through mastering the profit analysis quadrant. I promise you. Because I know the questions. I know a lot of the questions you guys are going to ask that day. Do it, set, fail fast, fail forward. Okay, Ray. Now you're encouraging him. He can do it. I'm asking him not to, because I can come up with a whole host of reasons. You can talk to Jennifer. She can tell you why not to as well. It's just a whole bunch of reasons why you shouldn't want to. Jill thinks the Sandy person is pretty impressive, too. Anyway, let's see. Did I cover everything? Did Jill ever answer my question? What is this? She doesn't answer. She asks for a discount. I give her a way to get it, and then she doesn't answer. I find that interesting. I don't know what to do with that. Let me see. I think I got all the questions for today, guys. Let me know if there's something else. You can definitely, there we go. You can definitely type it into the Facebook group. If we haven't answered it, obviously, already, we'll do our best to continue to do so. Please be nice to Jacob because he is working diligently, as you saw from the nice pages and all the stuff that we're creating to make it even bigger and better. And I am contemplating the idea of a small, I want to do something in person with you guys. I just don't know what that looks like, but I think it would be fun if we did that too. So anyway. You have to re-listen to my offer. Jill, it's very simple. It's very simple. You you said you wanted 2016. I was like, sure, no problem. You can have an additional 10% off 2016 by paying today. So what was $970? You're paying for the entire year. So what was $970 is now $970 minus 97. What is that? 803? No, that's not right. It's 903. No, I don't know the math. I see. This is why you use the calculator, and we clearly need a calculator to make these happen. And that's pretty much it. Either way, can we access older Q&As through YouTube later? Yes, the older Q&As will still be in YouTube. You understood exactly where we were going, Susan. The older Q&As will still be there. Jacob is doing a fabulous job on the core page. You're correct, Sandy. Anyway, you'll still have access to those. If you haven't, as I said at the beginning, if you haven't upgraded, you want to make sure that you do that. And let me see. I think that's pretty much it for today, guys. Keep your questions coming. We love them. I want to help you guys continue to move forward in every way, shape, or form. I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Until next time.